who's driving. This is my mate Dave. I'm the reluctant, cautious, slightly anxious passenger. We've got a big job today. We're looking forward to it. It's not quite the weather for it, actually, because it's so benign. But we were having a drink earlier in the week, and Dave said to me, he said, "I'm not sure about store jibs. Tell him what you were thinking."
So we've both got storm jibs. They're not easy to put up. I've got a wraparound one. You've got a hanked one, but it hanks over your furled genoa. And if you're out and you pick up to sort of force 5 or 6 and you start reefing, and by the time you realise, look, we're going to need a storm jib, you've got to be out on deck in a force 6, maybe a force 7, trying to get this blooming thing manhandled up. And I'm not sure that that's something you'd want to do. If you had full awareness of a storm approaching through accurate weather forecasting, then you could account for it, but weather forecasts aren't generally that accurate, so I could see how many occasions you'd be on the front of the boat trying to put up this unmanageable thing, sorting your sheets out, tying your sheets on, getting your strop sorted out, and touching halyards, and I just wonder whether it's practical. So and also we rarely use them, so we forget how they work. So we're going to remind ourselves today.
I think mine's quite easy, really. We'll see. I think mine was designed properly, carefully thought through, and well executed, and it's quite easy to put up from memory. We did use it once. Do you remember? We deliberately and rather foolishly, you might say, went out in a gale that was gusting to force 10 in just outside of Portsmouth Harbour, and we did it to try the storm jib. And actually, on the Beneteau, it worked remarkably well, didn't it? Surprised us both. So that's what we're up to today. And
as you can see, we've got the stormy weather for it.
We've got stormy weather. What do these boats know that we don't? So here we are at Bewley. We want to go down and drop off all the gear. He's brought his cushions back. By the way, don't tell him, but I want to show you how clean he's got his ropes after being shamed and named for the dirtiest ropes in the marina. I'll show you later.
Worried this morning because I think I've had a second compliment from him, and I don't know.
The toilet is actually clean. I mean, it's had bleach down there. You can even pull the handle up down. That's pretty good.
Have you got your trousers on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his second compliment. Something's happened to me, old mate, Dave Oliver. See how the day goes, it won't last. He spilt so many coffees, cups of coffees, pots of coffees, grouts, grits, all in my bilge over the years, so much of it. So he's bought these coffee bags that they're like tea bags. Fisherman's Rest is the name of the place we're going to. We're going to go to Lymington. Best pub in Lymington apparently, best reviews on TripAdvisor. It's called the Fisherman's Rest, half a mile walk I think. Told you the compliments wouldn't last long. Compliments would not last long and they've gone already.
You're gonna hang that onto your guardrails.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So that's just for carrying it, I'm guessing.
So it wraps
That's
around.
the head.
Oh, here's the clue.
Yeah. So you want sheets on the blue?
This is the tax for the tack, isn't it?
What's it say? It's got a label on it. Yeah, tack. That's
Okay,
awful.
so there's the tack.
Well, that's awful. How can you...
It's probably been 6 or 7 years since we used this storm jib. It's a wraparound sail, so it folds around the forestay or the rolled genoa. The carry bag clips onto the safety lines and you hoist the sail out of the bag. Attach the halyard to the head of the sail. I use a safety tether as a tack strop. It's a little too long, so I'll probably get something shorter made up. You then secure the sheets. We just used one for today. I'd normally tie a bowline rather than use a shackle. We missed it, but this shackle and I should have been connected, so Dave lowers the sail to reconnect.
Now we know what that was for.
And then up she goes again. As we knew, she sets well, but I don't think you'd relish doing this in a gale up on the bow. We made a checklist and an order of events so that we would spend as little time at the bow as possible. Dropping the sail was straightforward, down into the forward cabin without too much trouble. So our plan today is to visit the Fisherman's Rest in Lymington. It's a pub that's just a mile or so out of town. We'll catch this strong westerly tide in the morning. We're a bit rubbish at this video stuff. We bought a lovely new microphone with a sort of hairy wind muff thingy, but we forgot to switch the mic on. Hence you've got this overdub. You need to be aware of the shallow waters to the north of the entrance of Lymington. There's a permanent reminder for those that like cutting corners. Be aware of the 2 Lymington to Yarmouth ferries. They cross regularly and they meet in the middle. There are a few problems with this entry other than being aware that the channel shallows quite quickly if you tend to stray outside. There are a couple of lit transit posts to help you around the bend. We'd normally like to stop at the town quay, but due to time constraints and the location of the pub, we dropped in at the first of the 2 marinas, Lymington Yacht Haven. You can hail them on Channel 80. The Fisherman's Rest pub used to be called Grattan's Cottage, and it was granted a liquor license in 1870. She was another of Lymington's many smugglers' haunts, one of the best rated pubs in the area. Very friendly and very attentive staff, a big choice of fish along with meat and veggie options. We both opted for the fish pie, which didn't disappoint.
Lunch in just a moment, but.
So I'm absolutely stuffed with this
Oh,
delightful.
come on.
No, we had a delightful
That was a
fish.
light bite, for Pete's sake.
All right, we had a plate of halloumi cheese as a starter.
We had 4 sticks
we had
between
a plate
us.
of
4 little
halloumi.
sticks
We had a
about
plate
that
of
big.
halloumi cheese, and we had this big fish pie.
Big fish pie's about that big.
So, and we've just
That.
left the pub, and I'm absolutely stuffed. And the first thing he says as we're walking along is,
It's a good
wouldn't
suggestion.
it be nice? So maybe we should do this one day. Is on the way home.
Yeah.
As in a few minutes' time, we have champagne on board
Yeah.
with a cream tea.
Yeah, we could warm the scones up in your pathetic little oven, nicely in my cool runnings oven. Clotted cream, strawberry jam, and we do it when the tide was just marginally against us, slowing us down for a nice sedate, longish journey back. It would be ideal. Yeah, and then you wouldn't need any dinner. You're always worried about cooking dinner, you.
Just can't believe that. I suppose maybe I just thought we were a bit more macho than that. Cream tea and jam and scones
That sounds
and a little bit of bubbly on board on our way home when we've just stuffed ourselves. Seems a bit odd.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it seems perfectly normal
food?
to me. Yeah, great. Really good fish pie, nice halloumi, and big fish choice. If we'd gone there for dinner, you know, some wonderful fish on their specials board. Certainly worth a visit for dinner as well as lunch.
do you want to tell everybody about the shocking disaster of the morning?
A shocking disaster.
Yeah.
I don't recall one.
Yes, you do. You went on about it for ages.
I did?
Absolutely. The big loss.
Oh, serious. Look, I help him with his storm jib. He's got no idea, no pre-planning, utter chaos, anxiety reigns, and in the process of helping
Anxiety
you,
reigns.
you were nervous about taking that thing down. And look what
ridiculous.
I'm left with. My best hanky went overboard.
Oh, he lost one of his silk handkerchiefs. Disaster.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
You can't, and honestly,
Not a spare on board anywhere.
you can't have cream tea and scones and jam on board without
No.
without a
Well,
velvet.
plus, this is so not David Attenborough, is it? I mean, hanky that you rewash, that is saving the planet. This stuff, I was lucky, first of all, you even had kitchen roll on the boat. Honestly.
Sorry, I brought it up. Look how high these are. My fenders are below the. Shall I get the engine started?
Yeah.
You might remember that Dave's son Joel died about 14 months ago, and Dave's written a book. It's called All About Heaven. I think it's on its 3rd reprint coming up.
Second.
No,
Yeah,
they've done
it will
2,
be
and
its
its
third,
3rd
yeah,
is about to
correct.
arrive, so they've sold out the 2nd. It's gone like wildfire, really. But we'll send a link. We'll put a link to it. It's a good read. All About Heaven and what happens when somebody dies. So,
Yeah, and also we're doing an evening event, my wife Jill and I, an evening event called All About Heaven. It will be part conversational around the journey Jill, myself and the family went through, and also some of the content of the book, and it's in Basingstoke at the Sarum Hill Centre in Sarum Hill, March the 5th at 7:30. You don't need tickets, there's no cost to attend. We are expecting a pretty packed auditorium, so for parking's sake best to get there around 7:30 or a bit earlier, and we'll start at 7:45. so you'll see a link on the Lee Shaw's Lazy Jacks page to the details of that evening at event, and also a short video that we did just explaining the content of the book, so you could check out if it's something you'd like to come and be part of.
We'll put some links below. And one more topic of discussion. Our wives are fair weather sailors.
Yeah.
And we keep saying we'll bring our wives there and we'll do this with that, and of course we might get 1 or 2 short trips a year because the weather in the UK is not brilliant. So how can you get over that in this country? I'm sure we're not the only ones. What can you do to entice your other half on board?
Give us your ideas, folks, what you think has helped you, or if you've got a little idea. What we've tended to do, Jill and I, is use Cool Runnings a little bit like a summer cottage. When it's not really nice out on the sea, we'll swing on the mooring and we're in a lovely setting, and then we can take the tender back and forth. But she quite likes it if it's calm, and then choosing slack water is a good way of dealing with that. Go over to Island Harbour, or she loves Newtown Creek or Chichester Harbour. So those 3 places, Jill feels safe, secure and very, very happy. Plus we fitted new lights, haven't we? Have you told them about our new lights?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
What, these?
They're
Have
like,
they ever seen them?
They're like searchlights from World War II.
Yeah, they are.
It's not, power's not on.
No, but you got three touch for different lumen levels. He with my money, he bought me the first one, and it was so bad I had to take it out. It was so bright, I was getting retina damage. So we've had to replace that with slightly lower lumen versions. So these are 400 lumens on max, and that's about right.
Anyway,
no, there's no anyway about
decent
it.
Lights won't get your other half on board.
Yeah, it will for mine, because she likes to sew
she didn't
and
like
knit.
that. She didn't like that light.
She didn't like the one you chose because it was too bright, wasn't it?
So
gave her migraine.
one of the problems that Dave had is that when he first took Jill out, when he got his first boat years and years ago, he went out in a 4.7 or something, and he broached wildly and put the mast virtually in the water.
Yeah, it's 'cause
poor Jill was absolutely desperate and distraught. So she's not enjoying it quite so much since then. Rachel hasn't been through such an experience.
Excuse me?
Rachel hasn't been
Excuse
through
me?
such an experience with
She
me
has
because
been through worse, and it was longer lasting.
I think ahead.
No,
And
you didn't. You
I
had to lock her up in the cabin in a bag with a vomit bowl for 5 hours. The poor girl. Where was it from now? Somewhere in the West Country. No, don't you give her my problems. You tell them the truth.
Rachel
She's never come back for an overnight sailing.
She was seasick. That's all. She was seasick.
No, not
but
all.
She
Why
didn't-
was she
We
seasick?
didn't put the mast in the water.
No, you didn't need to. You were rolling like a pig in mud, weren't you? Non-stop. That's no good giggling and pretending you're not guilty. It was serious.
It was
lack
just
of judgment.
Fowie or foy to
Yeah.
Plymouth. That's all it was.
Yeah.
A short
And
hop.
shocking swell.
It was bad. I
Yeah.
agree, and I shouldn't have taken her out in it. But
Thank you.
I lost my phone on the same day overboard. That's my 4th phone I've lost overboard.
Can I say I've never lost one?
And I've lost an iPad
Yeah, I remember
lost
the
4
iPad on the
phones
way
on
up
an
to
iPad.
St Catherine's Dock.
in London. Yeah.
He just leaves them. I mean, look, you and I, we treat our phone with a bit of dignity and respect, don't we? We make sure it's locked away. He just puts it up on the deck, just leaves it there, no Velcro, nothing, just leaves it lurking. And of course the inevitable happens.
Your son knocked one of mine in last year.
Josh did.
It was Josh's fault, not mine.
No, it was where you put it in some ridiculous bracket you bought at the boat show.
Yeah.
On your binnacle compass house.
He turned round, he smacked it, and off it went again. Yet another phone lost. Anyway, we can have a cup of tea and then head back.
Yeah.